Marhaba.
Welcome back
To Islamic preacher and apologist. A very big hello and assalamu alaikum to you all. Now let's get to the video. Today I'm going to be talking about halala marriage. And this is mentioned in Surah Baqarah verse 230. I'll read it out. And if he has divorced her the third time, then she is not lawful unto him thereafter until she has married another husband. Then if the other husband divorces her, it is no sin on both of them that they reunite, provided they feel that they can keep the limits ordained by Allah. These are the limits of Allah when He makes plain for the people who have knowledge. Now I have to mention this, which is a huge, massive reality, that people have misused this verse. And why this has happened is because of translation issues, translation problems, in which this verse has not been explained properly, because when it comes to translation, there is always some up and down. And if he divorces her finally, she shall thereafter not be lawful unto him unless if she marries another man. If, in brackets, by chance this marriage also breaks, brackets closed, and the present husband divorces her, there shall be no sin upon either of them, the first husband and the divorced wife, to remarry, provided that both of them think that they will be able to be within the bounds set by Allah. And these are the bounds of Allah, which He makes clear unto people of innate knowledge. If you do research, you will find many variances in regards to Surah 2 verse 230. And Hatun Tash, being Hatun Tash, will always pick those translations, those misused, misexplained translations, which put it the wrong way. In a number of non-Arab Muslim countries, people have actually misused this verse. So we cannot totally blame Hatun Tash. Hatun Tash is actually a misuser of people's misconceptions. And as a result of misconceptions, some Muslims end up making mistakes and they become the object of these Islamic critics. I first thought that Hatun Tash would never upload my debate. This debate was on the 13th of September. I know that some of you, probably even most of you that come across my video, underestimate my knowledge for being a woman doing apologetics. But here I'm going to show you the debate.
What's your name, ma'am?
Can we just
What is your name?
just
Okay. Miss Muslim, why are you Muslim?
Because I searched it. Because I was born in a Muslim family. But then I searched.
Can you come a little bit closer so I can hear you?
I said first I was born in a Muslim family, which wasn't devout. But then I researched.
Okay, so that doesn't answer my question. Why are you Muslim?
Because I believe in Allah.
You believe in Allah. Okay, so you believe in Allah and you believe in Muhammad. Okay, what is it about Muhammad that you believe?
That he was the final messenger, and that he gave the message of mankind.
Explain that to me.
I created a YouTube video called Why Prophet Muhammad's the Best. With all the knowledge that you have, you don't always have it on top of your head. You have to spend a bit of time thinking about Prophet Muhammad ﷺ and then actually go through it. If somebody asks you, why is your mother the best mother in the world? You know it. For example, you know the sacrifices, the things that she did for you. You know that. But it's not going to be on top of your head when someone randomly asks you, why is Prophet Muhammad ﷺ the best? Now, for example, Jesus's claim is very easy, but it doesn't make him superior. For example, if, he converted water to wine, or walked on water, or healed the sick, bring the dead back to life, these things you remember at the top of your head. But there are things and attributes that you don't remember on top of your head, but you know it with research.
I don't believe. So, what is your reference that Muhammad is the final messenger while you cannot even produce verse for me from the Bible that's talking about the prophecy of Muhammad?
It's also in the Song of Solomon.
I'd like to ask if you could shed some light on a verse in the Bible. It's the Old Testament, Solomon chapter 5, verse 16. It's the Hebrew text. Hiko mamitikim wikulo Muhammadim zidude wazarai baine Jerusalem. I know that in English, Muhammadim has been translated to altogether lovely. What I'd like to ask is, why do Christians not know that Muhammad has been spoken about in the Bible?
I forgot what you asked. You say to me that why I should believe, because it's mentioned in the Quran. That's why. Like you believe.
I don't believe in the Quran. Okay. Therefore, I want you to give me proper reference. Why do you believe Muhammad is the prophet of Allah?
Like you read the Bible and it's mentioned over there. Similarly, our Quran talks about Prophet Muhammad. So why wouldn't we do just in our book it's Muhammad and it's Jesus and the other prophets, and in your book it's Jesus. So what you believe in your book and I believe in my book. So it's a fair deal.
So I find that answer a bit silly. Reason that answer is a bit silly is because your book says so, that doesn't make it true. So my book talks about lots of different people, lots of different individuals and what they have done, and that has been historically backed up. But when it comes to the Quran is a book which cannot even be historically backed up. Let me break it down for you. Since you are Miss Muslim, as I read the Islamic teachings, I am very much concerned on what Islam teaches about marriage, about women, okay? Do you think, is it acceptable in any form or any shape that once your husband divorces you 3 times, for you to reconcile with your husband, you have to go and sleep around with someone, that person is going to divorce you and then you come back to your husband?
Let me tell you the truth behind this.
Yes.
This has become a problem throughout the Muslim world, what you're saying, because they have taken this out of context.
Give me the context.
No,
so is the verse in the Quran?
No.
Is the verse in the Quran?
Let me finish what you said about halala. You're talking about halala marriage.
Okay, so marriage is called halala marriage.
That is called halala. Unfortunately, this is pulled out of context. The woman was given free it was after one divorce, then another divorce. When he divorces a final time, if the husband, the second husband, divorces her according to his own accord, then she can marry. You shouldn't make business out of it. I know people who have made the same mistake that you've talked about. They've made the same mistake. This woman, she married another man just so that she could go back to her first husband. This happened in history, but it's a fault, it's a mistake. People have misused that verse. They have misused it. What should happen if the second husband leaves that woman from his own accord? Then she can marry that first husband. This has been misused.
Okay, Miss Muslim, I thought you were Muslim. I am disappointed that you simply went against the Quran. Can you read the Quranic verse for me? Because Quranic verse doesn't say you get married with someone according to your will.
I did not say according to your will. I said if he in his own accord leaves you. I did not say according to her will. No. Neither is your English good, and nor are your comprehension skills. Now watch with how much difficulty Hatun Tash actually understands what I'm trying to say. It is either that she does not understand or pretends to not understand, but with difficulty she does actually accept. And with difficulty, you know what else happens? With such difficulty, she uploads this video. Knowing full well that this debate happened on the 13th of September, she uploads on the 25th.
That's not the Quranic verse says.
Let's reread the verse again. And if he divorced her the 3rd time, then she is not lawful unto him thereafter until she has married another husband. Then if the other husband divorces her, it is no sin on both of them that they reunite. I know that the word according to is not there, but when the word is until, that's a key word. If, that's another key word. So therefore, anyone with good comprehension skills would realize that he would divorce her according to his will, not according to her will. If you go back to this video, you'll pick the word her.
Let me read the Quranic verse and then you break it down for me, okay?
It's misinterpreted.
Okay,
it's misunderstood.
Okay, I am gonna give you time to explain it to me. But am I right to assume, as a bottom line, you think it is very ugly and disturbing for you to reconcile your marriage, you have to have a sex with a stranger to go back to your first marriage? Do you think that's ugly and disgusting?
I don't think that's the rule.
No, listen my question. It is disgusting. Okay, yeah.
But that's not
Okay, so that's good. Now we identified that's disgusting. Now, let me read the verse and I want you to explain it to me. In case you don't have the Quran with you, I'm going to read it from...
Why is there a hole in your Quran?
Because there are holes in the narrative.
By the looks of things, that this woman has actually used a cigarette to do that. The camera could not detect what I could detect whilst I was standing right in front of her. This woman seems to have some sort of history going on, and she lived, I think, 26 years in the Middle East. And for your information, the halala subject is not new in Speaker's Corner. And I had not gone to debate with Hatun Tash. I actually went there to offer a lecture. And from there she picked me. She was the one that offered me to get involved in the debate. And by the looks of things, she was not going to upload this debate. Why? Because I responded to her question. Ever since she's had issues in Speaker's Corner, she has limitations on her, which is why she had no other option other than to actually upload this video.
Like I can talk about it in a bit. So, if he divorces her, then she's not lawful for him afterwards. Unless...
Now, in some places, the translation is unless, and in some places, it's until. Big difference. Unless makes it looks like it's a recommendation, but until means that it's a final option. And the final option is until he leaves her in his own accord. Notice the word if in the translation that I showed you.
Unless she has married someone else and he divorces her as well. So you said according to her own will she's marrying, and according to his own will he's been divorcing. But according to Allah, she's not lawful for him afterwards unless she has married someone else.
But the thing is, it's misunderstood.
Okay, explain it to me.
The second husband should leave according to his own will. It's not like make business out of it. Oh, I'm going to marry another husband. Please divorce me. I have to go back. You should not make business out of it. If he divorces,
I am a bit disappointed that you are thinking this is a business.
No, people should not make some sort of, use this as an advantage. They shouldn't use this as an advantage. People have in the past misused this. They have done it.
Let me break down my question. It seems it is failing in the translation, okay? That's not my question. Listen to my question. You already been divorced third time, okay? He comes to you and then he says, Habibi, here's the flowers, here are the roses, here's the chocolate. Can we reconcile? Are you able to say, yes, Habibi, let's reconcile?
This is misuse of his Islam.
That's not my question.
I won't be able
according to Allah.
Because my intent would not allow me to do
so
that.
According to Allah, what you have to do to go back to your husband?
No. According to Allah, no, but the thing is, if I have married someone else, you're saying that, right?
No, you are not married yet. You've been divorced the third time.
And my husband says marry him for the temporary.
No, you are not listening. I know, I can see see there is an anger regarding this verse because it is very disturbing and very ugly verse. I agree with you, but you are not listening to my question. You have been divorced the third time,
Right.
okay?
Yeah.
Your husband comes to you, you are not married yet, okay? Your husband comes to you and then says, Habibi, here's the 12 roses, here's the chocolate from the Belgium, and then look, I got falafel as well, let's
I mean, is this woman crazy or is she mad? She suddenly brings in the flowers and the chocolates. I'm talking apples and you're talking oranges. You don't get the point.
reconcile.
Right.
So are you able to say, let's reconcile? What do you have to do to go back to your first husband?
But then I would have to remarry, but
With whom? With someone else? You have to, and then?
It would not be justified if I marry for that sake. It would not be justified. It would mean I'm misusing the verse.
So Allah is lying.
Now, there were very many moments when Hatun Tash actually ends up looking at me just like this, where there's a pausing moment. It is either that she has poor comprehension skills, or she pretends to not understand what I'm saying. Or it's a little bit of both.
Allah said this.
So you are disagreeing with Allah.
I'm saying Allah said this, but it's been misused. It has not been explained properly.
Okay, when Allah said, only reason you can go back to your first husband, unless you marry with stranger and that stranger divorces you are saying what Allah said is being misused.
Yeah, people are misusing this verse. That's what I'm saying from the beginning. People are misusing it. I know this is
So how it needs to work?
But this, what should happen is if the second husband, from his own will, divorces her, then she is okay for the first one. So if the second husband divorces his wife, right, from his own will, then it's okay. But don't misuse marriage like that. That's unfair.
She understood exactly what I was saying at that point. If you notice, she is actually in deep thought and looking at the camera and thinking of what to say next. Let's continue.
So Allah is being in here, Allah is being unfair, and Allah is introducing something very disgusting because
People are misusing it.
so in here, it doesn't say woman is marrying according to her will, husband is divorcing, second husband is divorcing. Listen, husband is divorcing her according to his own will. In here, it simply says, listen to the word I'm emphasizing.
I know what it says. I know what it
So
says.
why are you disagreeing with the word of Allah? You are not a Muslim.
It's not explained properly.
So word of Allah is not being explained well, even though Allah in the Quran stated word of Allah is well detailed and well explained. That's absolutely fine. So now let me move to the second point. Do you have a problem for your husband to beat you?
That is not allowed. Of course I have a problem.
Okay, you have a problem. Do you have a problem with Allah when Allah orders husband to beat the wife?
Allah does not order. Allah does not order that.
Allah doesn't order that.
This is the fourth option. The first option.
Sorry, does he order or he doesn't order? Does he order or he doesn't? You said he doesn't order, and now you are telling me this is the fourth option, third option.
The fourth option is to first initiate dialogue, then separate with her. The fourth is to strike her just like this, like a good misbah, not like that.
Again, there is a pause, and I noticed this very closely because I was standing right in front of her and I noticed the distress that was on her face. The debate took place on the 13th of September, but she uploaded on the 25th of September. Look at how much time it took her to actually upload the debate. So notice that all this time she was refraining from doing so. She uploaded other works, but not this one. And now that there are some restrictions on her, this is the only stuff she had. She uploaded it anyway because she wanted an audience.
That's how you say.
So you said, you told me actually it is not option and you disagree. Now you are telling actually on the third option, husband can do so.
Just that much. It should strike, but it does not mean like beat her violently. It does not mean beat her violently, just like with miswak.
However, at this time, Hatun somewhat gets me. She asked me to bring a reference for the miswak. And I have evidence that I came back with the evidence, and watch this.
I'm here.
You found the reference?
Yeah.
Now, if you notice, 8 months ago, I refuted this claim in Muhammad's Boom Boom Room in exactly this particular episode.
What does the Quran say when a wife disobeys her husband?
As Allah revealed in the Quran, if you fear rebellion from your wife, you can beat her until she obeys you.
Jesus Christ!
So let's analyze the so-called wife-beating verse of the Holy Quran. He responded by saying those who strike their wives are not the best among you, or in some variations, the best of you will not strike them. Men are in charge of women by right of what Allah has given one over the other and what they spend for maintenance from their wealth. So righteous women are devoutly obedient, guarding in the husband's absence what Allah would have them guard. But those wives from whom you fear arrogance, first advise them. Then, if they persist, forsake them in bed, and finally strike them. But if they obey you, once more, seek no means against them. Notice how it is important to first initiate dialogue, and then stop giving them a physical relationship. Forsake them in bed. Now I will explain the concept behind the striking. Documentation from Muslim scholars who specifically mention the toothbrush, miswak, as the beating stick. As defined by Hadith, it is not permissible to strike anyone's face, cause any bodily harm, or even be harsh. What the Hadith qualified as darban ghaira mubarri, or light striking, was interpreted by early jurists as a symbolic use of miswak, a small natural toothbrush. Basic principles, Jamal Badawi, PhD Muslim. Now what you see in my hand right now is actually a miswak, and I'm going to strike it. Your very own Farid Response, who just created a very similar video to mine months after me, you would lose faith in David Wood after watching this video. Wife beating gives the same testimony, and watch this.
تفسير الطبري. Well, alhamdulillah, I do have my own copy of Tafsir al-Tabari right here. I have access to the Arabic language, which you don't, David. Under verse number 34 in Surah An-Nisa, Ibn Abbas is asked, what is meant by a light beating? And he responds, it is a beating with a miswak, with a toothbrush, right? The same thing that David claims is a whitewashed version of Islam, something that supposedly doesn't exist in the sources. And I think you deserve a beating. This isn't my miswak, by the way. It's actually my wife's miswak, ironically. And no, she doesn't beat me with it, but yeah.
Coming up next is my in-depth analysis on wife beating. Thank you, shukran, jazakallah khair. And yes, Muslims, I do need feedback. Please do give me updates, express your opinions, and if you have to show appreciation, do not hesitate to do so. Oh, come on, I'm only a sister. Do you know what I really like, Muslims, are two things. One is the title of this video, Islam Honors Women. The misused Quranic verse is cleared up, Speaker's Corner. Now, this was my first day in Speaker's Corner as a debater or as a speaker. And I was indeed very, very nervous. And this is not the most usual me, as you know that I do not disclose my identity or my name or face or anything like that. After all, I am not Christian Prince. And the good thing is that some 9,000 people viewed this, and more misconceptions are going to be cleared off. If I check her comment section, people point at me for not being able to actually bring up Muhammad in the Bible, or point at me for not having the reference present with me. However, with regards to halala marriage, people had very few to say. I'm not Zakir Naik that I would give exact reference verse to where in the Bible it says such and such. And nobody actually remembers which hadith is actually giving such and such information. This was a very random debate. Hatun was prepared, I was not. And second, it was my first day, and she is an old fish in the sea. And see you soon. Till then, goodbye.